you've reached the point where the ways in which you've succeeded, you have done well. But the ways in which you have restricted yourself has now started to affect your life in a way where you realize now that you're not living up to your full potential. You're holding yourself back. And at this point, you're beginning to ask yourself, for what? Why am I holding myself back? But at the same time releasing myself to succeed. Because in the area in which you are succeeding, it comes natural. It flows naturally. In the area in which you're restricting yourself, you have felt impediments before, and so you decided that I'm no longer interested in letting that part of me progress because I don't want to meet any more roadblocks. I'm just going to go full send, full heart energy towards the direction where I can succeed. The key to our success is not our ability to succeed or fail, to conquer or be conquered, but rather it is our ability to adapt. It's our ability to overcome in subtle ways that gives us that ability to manage our way through perilous and difficult pathways. In all things, it's not the aspect of the yin and the yang on either polar opposite. It's the thin line, that gray area where we find ourselves in the nuance that gives us permission for a new way of being. Today we're going to be talking about the idea that comes with a tarot card, Temperance. We need to find the balance between all things, because the truth is not found in polarities. The truth is found where all things are found. When we look deep within, when we begin to ask the real question, why? Why am I doing this? Why do I believe this? Why did I do that? When we can ask ourselves the why, we can start to get at the root of our heart, and we can get back to that place that gives us permission to see things more clearly. Hi, I'm Daniel Estevez, and I make content for clear conscious people who are tired of the same old, and they yearn for something different, and they're willing to take steps in an uncomfortable direction with the hope and the help of each other to find a new way. Much like the innocence of Pinocchio, we are apt to wander in our hopeful innocence and ignorance into pathways that we realize after the fact that we never should have gone down. And we hold all of the mistakes that we make with grace and open hands. Where moderation comes is the realization of the balance of we want to have an innocent spirit so that we have the opportunity for wonder, for excitement, and also for the possibility of failure and misstepping. We want to have all of that. There is the yin and the yang. Moderation comes with experience. And moderation in this sense isn't about restriction, it's about wholeness and wellness and an understanding of the grace we give ourselves and the hope that we also hold, where we have permission to be imperfect, we have permission to fail, and we also have permission to explore. You've reached the point where the ways in which you've succeeded, you have done well. But the ways in which you have restricted yourself has now started to affect your life in a way where you realize now that you're not living up to your full potential. You're holding yourself back. And at this point, you're beginning to ask yourself, for what? Why am I holding myself back? But at the same time releasing myself to succeed. Because in the area in which you are succeeding, it comes natural. It flows naturally. In the area in which you're restricting yourself, you have felt impediments before, and so you decided that I'm no longer interested in letting that part of me progress because I don't want to meet any more roadblocks. I'm just going to go full send, full heart energy towards the direction where I can succeed. We're meeting ourselves there, in the place in between where we can succeed and where we can fail. Because there's something of value here that you're missing. There's a reason that you're watching this video. There's a reason that you're feeling like we were led to meet. My call to you today is for you to start to open yourself more fully. Now, the danger that comes in opening yourself more is you are more able to fail. You are more able to be less than perfect. And maybe that isn't a struggle for you, but maybe that is a struggle for you. But I think in any area, there is the availability where we're not letting ourselves fully be present. We're not letting ourselves fully show up. Maybe it's the thing that's causing you anxiety, and so that anxiety is fueling you to perform well. Now, we love the fact that we perform well, but when part of that fuel is that you need a negative stimulus to help produce a positive result, there is something of worth there to be examined. We're continuing to sit in this space that harkens us into moderation. Moderation is the idea that there is such a thing as too much, and all we're doing is asking for a brief respite of recognition where we can call into account, am I giving too much of myself away? Am I restricting myself too much? Am I investing too much in something, or am I not investing enough? Moderation is moderation is the mirror. Temperance is the mirror that beckons us to moderation. We are called to just check in and give ourselves an account. Where in your life have you been holding back? Where in your life have you been being fueled by anxiety or bitterness or anger? Where in your life have you been so invested in something that there is possibility that the reason you've been so invested is because you're running away from something else? Temperance asks us to check all of these different levels for which we're showing up, so that we can find out for ourselves, not for anyone else, where am I missing? Is there a piece of me that still needs attention? There's still one thing left for us to consider. How much is too much? How much do we want in return for our effort? Because there is an outward effort that gives us a return, but there is the inward effort that reverberates throughout the rest of our life. The awareness that we find here today is that we have an opportunity to work on that inward introspective level, that nothing can change us more than we can change ourselves for the ways in which we invest in ourselves. So my encouragement to you today is amidst a flooded world of investments where messages are so mixed that we don't know if we choose to invest in something that it will give us the return that we hope for. If you've ever watched the Subaru car commercial, the commercial ends with Subaru equaling love. Now, I know that Subaru people love their cars, but there's something about that messaging that's telling us, hey, maybe you're missing love. Maybe there's something missing here. And by the way, Subaru also equals love. So there's this broad messaging from many different angles that tries to meet us in the place where we are lacking, and we pass it off because it's normal. But it's a real way that that we're being marketed in front of our face. Now, the only thing that you can do in the wake of that is bring awareness. Is this where the source of love is? Silly question, but it's something worthy of sitting with in that moment. And my hope for you is that as you learn to invest in that spark inside of you, as you learn to invest in yourself, you are learning how you can set yourself up to succeed repeatedly, and that those decisions will echo through your life. And my hope as a life coach for you, and your friend sitting here sharing with you and teaching from my heart, my hope is this, that I can honor your choice to invest into yourself by my effort that I can do. And as your life coach, when we sit down and we talk one-on-one, that I honor your effort so that you can not have a fish to eat for one day, but rather you can learn how to sustain yourself and not need a person like me to continually sit down here and tell you how you can grow better, but rather you then now have the ability to grow yourself. That's what we do. That's the work we do. We don't do it for ourselves. We don't do it for other people. We do it for all of us. And the work that we do, we get to share with other people. And the work that they do, they can share with others. Because the real spark that changes things is the intentional time we spit. The intentional time that we sit together with open hearts, sharing and willing to grow. Sharing and willing to grow. I'm a life coach. I'd love to sit down and talk with you. Let's set up a one-on-one session time. Free. First session is free. I just want to sit down and hear from you and see where you're at and where you want to go. Be it life, your life goals, or your deep spiritual goals or your emotional goals. I am qualified to see you and help you to see yourself and help give you the tools for you to grow. I'd love to do that. There's a link in the description below. You can click on that. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. I love hearing from you guys. And that's it. Deuces. Peace. Have a good one.